This is the Board of Education meeting being held on Tuesday, June 23rd. I'm calling the meeting to order at 5:34. If you can please call the roll.
Mrs. Assif?
Here.
Mrs. Troutman?
Here.
Mrs. Hassler?
Here.
Dr. Henry?
Here.
Mrs. Slawinski?
Here.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Here.
Mrs. Arvanites?
6 board members present, 1 absent. Can I please have a motion to go into closed session?
I move that the Board of Education move into closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. 5 ILCS 122C1. Collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. 5 ILCS 122C2. The purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. 5 ILCS 122C5. And discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by Section 2.065 ILCS 122C21.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Assif, seconded by Mrs. Hassler. Can we please call a vote?
Mrs. Assif?
Yes.
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Slawinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. The board will now move into closed session. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. The board has been in closed session for items listed on the agenda since 5:30. We have 6 board members present and 1 absent. At this time, I would ask that we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with our spotlights. So first up is girls water polo team. Come on up forward.
All right, good evening, Board of Education and school district leaders. I am very fortunate and grateful. Tonight we have a great group of student athletes and different sports represented for our spring sports. We had another successful season, and we're going to start it off with girls water polo. Coach Giuliani could not make it tonight, so I'm happy to step in. I watched the girls numerous times this year, especially down their run with state, and it was fantastic. Here's a couple of quick facts. The girls water polo team finished 24-7-1 this year. This is the best record that we've had in our conference. We were also the IHSA sectional champions. We were the IHSA super sectional champions, which was new this year. We were the IHSA state runner-up. We finished second place. This is the first time the Dukes made it to the state championship game in girls water polo. So the best finish ever by a York team. Here is an interesting fact about girls water polo. Did you know that the Dukes were down in their last 3 games to make it to the state championship game? So they won in the sectional final, they won in the super sectional, and they also won in the state semifinal. We were behind in all 3 of those games to make it to the state championship game. So congratulations to the girls water polo team.
Girls, I'm going to read the board proclamation to you. Congratulations on your amazing accomplishment. When I think of water polo, I just think of like a lot of things that I can't do, like strength and endurance. And so it's like, to me, the hardest sport. So great job and congratulations. So here is the board proclamation. Whereas the York Community High School girls water polo team authored one of the finest seasons in program history, compiling a 24-7-1 record and earning the opportunity to compete on the sport's biggest stage. And whereas the Dukes navigated a challenging postseason path by capturing the IHSA Fenwick Sectional Championship, defeating New Trier in the Super Sectional, and advancing to the state championship match with a state semifinal victory over St. Ignatius. And whereas York's memorable postseason run showcased the talent, resilience, and competitive spirit of its student athletes, as well as the leadership and guidance of its coaching staff. And whereas the Dukes concluded their season as the 2026 IHSA Girls Water Polo State Runner-Up, an achievement that reflects months of hard work, preparation, and commitment to excellence. And whereas the accomplishments of the York Girls Water Polo team brought pride to York Community High School and Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205, while serving as an example of perseverance, sportsmanship, and the pursuit of excellence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 hereby recognizes and congratulates the members and coaches of the York Community High School girls water polo team for their outstanding achievements during the 2026 season and for earning a second-place finish at the IHSA Girls Water Polo State Finals. Congratulations, girls.
Next up on the agenda is the girls lacrosse team. You guys please step forward.
So many of us couldn't make it tonight because on vacation, everything else, but very excited to have you girls here, and it was an incredible season. Girls lacrosse started probably about 20 years ago. I was the first coach, and we were on a little field out in the middle of nowhere, and we became an IHSA sport and built a great program, and due to the great girls, not only are you great athletes this year and throughout your 4 years, but just an incredible athletes and young ladies. There were a lot of firsts this year. Beat Hinsdale Central for the first time ever in existence, twice. 2 times, not once, twice. We were the West Suburban champions for the first time ever. And when they were freshmen, the seniors, they made a bet with me. They said, if we make it to the state championship, we can dye your hair green. Well, I dyed it today, and it's not green anymore. So they won the bet, and due to their hard work, dedication, that's what we got. We got to the state championship, and super proud of them. And it's their hard work and their dedication and loyalty to an incredible program. So thank you, girls, for being so awesome. That's it.
Congratulations to all of you. And I know, having kids who played sports and nieces and nephews, how much time and hard work and parent support it takes to be a part of a team of this caliber. So kudos to you for being so dedicated to that. I know the results of this season were amazing, but it's all the experiences and time spent together and the things you learned along the way that are going to stick with you forever and are so special. So congratulations. I'll read the proclamation. Whereas the York Community High School girls lacrosse team established itself as one of the premier programs in Illinois during the 2026 season, compiling an outstanding 21-4 record and securing one of the #1 seeds in the IHSA state tournament. And whereas the Dukes embarked on an impressive postseason run, defeating Montini, Glenbard West, and Bennett Academy to capture the sectional championship and advance to the IHSA Super Sectional. And whereas York continued its championship pursuit with a victory over Hinsdale Central in the Super Sectional before defeating Marist in the IHSA state semifinals to earn a place in the state championship game. And the Dukes concluded their remarkable season as the 2026 IHSA Girls Lacrosse State Runner-Up, a testament to the talent, determination, and competitive excellence displayed throughout the year. And the accomplishments of the York Girls Lacrosse team reflect the dedication of its student athletes, coaches, and families, and serve as a source of pride for York Community High School and Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 hereby recognizes and congratulates the members and coaches of the York Community High School girls lacrosse team for their outstanding achievements during the 2026 season and for earning a second place finish in the IHSA Girls Lacrosse State Finals. Congratulations.
Okay, next up is our Special Olympics student athletes. Want to come on up?
Hello. Today, I am proud to recognize our amazing track athletes who represented York Special Olympics at state this year. These athletes have worked incredibly hard all season, showing dedication, perseverance, and commitment to ongoing improvement. Their success is a direct reflection of their effort and their teamwork. Beyond accomplishments on the track, they've shown true leadership by supporting their teammates and representing our school with so much pride. They competed at the highest level in their sport and brought home gold medals in all of their events, which include the 4x100 relay, the girls softball throw, and the men's shot put. We're incredibly, that's right. We are incredibly proud of your hard work. And to our seniors here, we will miss you so much on our team next year. It's been so amazing to have you as such a great part of the team, and we'll always, we'll miss having you, and we'll hope that you'll come to support us in the future. Congratulations.
So I am super honored to be up here to do this proclamation for the board. I have watched in the last 7 years just the change from where Special Olympics was 7 years ago when I came on, when Mrs. Hostler and I got on the board, and how many changes have happened through the collaboration of the amazing parents that are here and our district. Dr. Rubenstein, big shout out, because 7 years ago there was one Special Olympics, event, sporting event, and now it's an all-year thing, and you guys are amazing athletes. And I've got to watch front row as Hannah, my daughter, has been a coach along with you guys her 3 years here, and so I am just so grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate you guys. So here we go. And Hannah gave me the pronunciation. Grace, your name really challenged me. So Hannah told me how to say it. So blame her if I'm wrong. All right, you can blame me if I pronounced it wrong. It's fine. Student athletes from the York Community High School Special Olympics track and field program competed at the 2026 Illinois Special Olympics State Track and Field Championships and represented Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 with pride, determination, and sportsmanship. And York student athletes delivered outstanding performances at the state meet, earning multiple first-place finishes against competitors from across Illinois. Mark Falco, which one is Mark? Captured a gold medal with a first place finish in the shot put event. You want to demonstrate for us, buddy? Show, what does it look like? There you go, bud. The 4x100 meter relay team of Kate Sloan, Abby Paskey, Kylie Story, and Grace Jotishi earned a gold medal and first place finish through teamwork, dedication, and athletic excellence. Whereas Grace Jotishi also earned a gold medal with a first place finish in the softball throw event, highlighting her exceptional effort and achievement. The accomplishments of these student athletes reflect their hard work, determination, and commitment to excellence, as well as the support provided by their coaches, staff, families, yay, and teammates. And the success of the York Special Olympics track and field program serves as a source of pride for the Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 and demonstrates the power of inclusion opportunities that allow all students to thrive and reach their full potential. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education, Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 hereby recognizes and congratulates Mark, Kate, Abby, Kylie, and Grace for their outstanding achievements at the 2026 Illinois State Track and Field Championship and commends them for their dedication, perseverance, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence. Thank you, guys.
Okay, next up is Carlin Janowski, fourth place girls track and field. Come on up.
Carlin is no stranger to these board meetings. Real quick, I'd like to mention that York had three female student athletes that were all state in track. Besides Carlin, there was two others. Jillian Booth, who medaled in the 200-meter dash. Something notable about Jillian is that she was the first York athlete in girls track to make it to the finals in the 200-meter dash. And she will go down in the history books as one of the fastest to ever compete for the York Dukes. Also, the Dukes had a freshman, Abby Bars, who completed in pole vault. Abby finished sixth place and was all-state. And this is notable because she became the second highest achieving pole vaulter in York history as a freshman. Also, it's been brought to my attention that Abby is currently the top 1% as a 15-year-old of all the vaulters in the nation. So she's a freshman. Worth noting. And the reason why we have so much success is because of this individual in front of you, because Carlin is contagious in regards to her, what she brings to the table every day. These are the words from Coach LaShawn, who cannot be here today. As a sophomore, Carlin Janowski has made her mark in York's history books as one of the finest track athletes in school history. But to her teammates, peers, and coaches, there is a deeper side to her legacy she will be leaving behind. No, she's only a sophomore, going to be a junior. Carlin is quick, and Carlin is often first, but not just in ways measured by a stopwatch. She is quick to show up to serve others. She is first to be event-side cheering for her teammates. She is quick to call out the good she sees in people, and she is first to share her confidence and belief in the greatness of those around her. In regards to what Carlin did at state, she finished fourth in the 3,200-meter run with a time of 10:24.62. I think it takes me longer to put my shoes on in the morning, and Carlin can run 2 miles while I do that. It was her new personal record, and right now she's currently number 3 all-time in the record books at York for that race. Congratulations, Carlin.
Hi, Carlin. Congratulations, and good to see you again. Yes. I looked up and I was trying to figure out the pacing, and I'm a runner, so I was like, how fast is a 10 minutes, 24 seconds for 2 miles? That is a 5 minute and 14-second mile. I mean, some people are excited to do a mile in 10 minutes, and the fact that you did 2 is unbelievable. And again, twice in a row at 5 minute pace, essentially. And then I was looking to see what can you do in 5 minutes, and like you said, put on your shoes in 10. It takes my son twice as long, I think. Answer 5 emails in 5 minutes, so maybe you could answer 10 emails on a good day. Return a phone call, listen to a story, maybe read 8 or 10 pages of a book if you're good, if you're a fast reader, and you ran 2 miles in that time. So, I mean, I'm in awe. I'm a runner, and I'm in awe of how fast you are. And I think, again, you've provided inspiration. I know several girls on the track team, and you provided inspiration to them during practice as well as during competition. So congratulations. Whereas Carlin Janowski of York Community High School demonstrated outstanding dedication, perseverance, and athletic excellence during the 2026 track and field season. And whereas through hard work, discipline, and commitment to her sport, Carlin earned the opportunity to compete against the state's top student athletes at the IHSA Girls Track and Field State Finals. And whereas Carlin delivered an exceptional performance in the 3,200-meter run, recording a personal best time of 10 minutes, 24.62 seconds. And whereas her achievement reflects not only her talent as a distance runner, but her determination, resilience, and commitment to continuous improvement. And whereas Carlin's success serves as an inspiration to her teammates, fellow students, and the entire York Community High School community. Whereas her accomplishments bring pride to York Community High School and Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 and exemplify the values of hard work, sportsmanship, and excellence. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 hereby recognizes and congratulates you, Carlin, for her outstanding achievement in the 3,200 meter run at the 2026 IHSA Girls Track and Field State Finals and commends her for her dedication, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. Congratulations.
Once again, congratulations to all of our students. Next up is our field spotlight.
Doesn't feel nearly as exciting as that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. Okay. Should we go around? Come stand in the middle. Awkwardly face this way while people talk at you. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little about the work taking place at Field. I'm Heidi Thomas, the principal at Field. We reflected a little about what we wanted to share in June with you guys, and we kept coming back to the idea that students need to feel like they belong before they can truly thrive. When students feel connected, valued, and supported, they're more willing to take risks, build relationships, persevere through challenges, and engage in learning. While academics remain at the center of our work, we know that creating a positive school culture is an important part of helping students succeed. And one of the things we both love most about Field is that our staff is incredibly intentional about creating those experiences for our students. Through common expectations, social emotional learning, student recognition systems, and opportunities for celebration, we work to ensure every student feels connected to our school community. And tonight we'd like to share some of the ways we intentionally build belonging, trust, joy, and growth at Field.
And before I forget to say it, I'm Julie Ford, the assistant principal of Fields. So for us, academics remain at the center of our work, but we know that also creating a positive school culture is an important part of helping every one of our students succeed. The images on this slide represent the experiences that we want every student to have at Field: a sense of connection, opportunities to build relationships, and moments that help them feel proud to be part of our school community. The work directly supports District's 205's commitment to educating, engaging, and empowering every student. So, how do we intentionally create those experiences for our students?
As we reflected on the work of our student culture and climate team this year, we realized that the most meaningful impact isn't found in a single event or an assembly or a recognition system. It's found in the daily experiences students have throughout our building and the consistent messages they receive from the adults around them. First, we teach expectations and social emotional skills so students understand what success looks like and have the tools to navigate the challenges that face them daily. Next, we reinforce positive choices so students feel recognized, valued, and encouraged. And then we create opportunities for joy and connection through shared experiences that bring students together and strengthen our community. And together, those help students feel like they belong.
At Field, we don't assume that students automatically know what success looks like. We intentionally teach expectations across all settings of the school. We teach them, model them, practice them, and revisit them throughout the year. Through opportunities to be social detectives, which is the picture in the middle on this slide, students learn to think about how their actions impact others. They learn how to navigate friendships, solve problems, and better understand the perspectives of those around them. At the same time, the other pictures on this slide come from our whole school Falcon Focus assemblies. Those assemblies help us create a common language around social emotional learning. Each month, we focus on one of the core competencies that help students be successful both in and out of school, including self-awareness, self-management, relationship skills, social awareness, and responsible decision-making. What makes Falcon Focus especially powerful is that it extends beyond the assembly itself. Students hear those same messages during morning announcements, in classrooms, through recognition systems, and during school-wide events. When students understand the expectations and have the skills to navigate challenges, they are better equipped to be successful learners, classmates, and leaders.
Of course, teaching expectations is only part of the work. We also believe it's important to recognize and celebrate our students when they demonstrate those skills. One thing that our staff does incredibly well is celebrate our students. Through Falcon Feathers, Golden Feathers, classroom recognitions, and PBIS incentives, we create opportunities to acknowledge students when they demonstrate responsibility, kindness, perseverance, and positive decision-making. What we appreciate most about these systems is that they help students see themselves as contributors to our community. They recognize that their choices matter, that their actions impact others, and that together they can help create the culture we want at Field.
So as we close, we wanted to share one of our favorite moments from this school year. Throughout the year, we talked about how we teach expectations, reinforce positive choices, and help students develop important social emotional skills. But we also believe that school should be a place that is joyful and fun. The video you're about to see is from our end of year PBIS school-wide celebration, which was voted on by our students. It was one of the many opportunities for students and staff to come together, celebrate a successful year, and simply enjoy being part of the Field community. While the inflatable race may just look like a fun event, and it absolutely was, it also represents something much bigger. It represents a school community that laughs together, celebrates together, and creates shared experiences that students will remember long after they leave elementary school. Some of the most meaningful parts of a student's school experience are not found in a lesson plan or on an assessment. They're found in the relationships they build, the memories they create, and the feeling that they are part of something special. We hope you enjoy this snapshot of this experience as told through our PTA. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little of what makes Field such a special place for our students.
Makes you wanna go. Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na. Put your hands together now. Everybody now. Put your hands together now. Sometimes it hits you when you least expect it. When it feels this good. 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 Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na.
We figured we would end the spotlight with just a little bit of fun. Thank you for the time.
Just thank you so much for sharing. And you put up your slides and I'm like, made me tear up as our Field journey is ending, and just how much love and just that true sense of belonging that every child feels at your school. So it's because of your leadership, so thank you. Let's hear it. All right, the next up on the agenda is public comments. The public comment section of the board meeting provides an opportunity for community members to share information and perspectives with the Board of Education. And while the board does not respond during public comments, we are listening and thoughtfully considering the messages being shared. Each of us have high expectations for our community and ask that public comments are respectful and do not mention any individuals by name. There will be 30 minutes allotted for public comments with up to 3 minutes per public comment speaker concerning items on the agenda. The board secretary will give a reminder when you have 30 seconds left. Let's begin with our first speaker.
Dana Magnuson.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm speaking tonight to add my voice to that of the speakers at previous meetings regarding rising concern with one-to-one devices and increased screen time in our schools. For clarification, when I refer to one-to-one devices, I'm talking about the individually assigned Chromebooks and iPads. I'm a member of the newly formed Schools Beyond Screens Elmhurst and a parent of an incoming kindergartner at Hawthorne Elementary. Since the last board meeting, our large group of concerned parents became an official chapter of Schools Beyond Screens and created a petition that garnered almost 1,000 signatures in a few weeks' time with minimal networking. This rising concern is due to the fact that we now see all the data revealing that screen usage is having a negative effect on our children's learning, attention spans, and behavior. Numerous school districts around the country are revisiting their tech policies, including LA, the second largest school district in the country. Their board voted unanimously to remove devices for their youngest learners and transition to carts and screen time limits for the older grades. Children and humans in general need tactile books, materials, pencil, and paper to learn. A screen is proven nowhere equal to the traditional way of learning, no matter what may have been touted from the industry. The use of screens in learning has been shown to actually have a negative effect. There are so many studies out there, but I'll reference a very large one. It was a study of nearly 300,000 students across the US from 2023 that found that even small daily amounts of digital devices in the classroom, which here was only 30 minutes, was negatively related to scores on reading comprehension tests. I was personally shocked to learn that my kindergartner would be using a one-to-one device. One-to-one devices are especially not recommended for our youngest learners. I'd assume that D205 would be leading the way with best practices in this area. To add, I've been home with my daughter every day for the past 5 years, and she has never used an iPad or a device at home, so it baffles me that she would need to use one for her limited hours in school. In the first few years of schooling, hands-on and play-based learning is so important. This time should not be displaced with any time on a screen. Our group has also spent time speaking with the principals at many of our schools and found that device usage varies from school to school, especially at the elementary level. Some schools have even been using them during indoor recess instead of playing with their peers or using the device as a reward. Some other schools are using them more sparingly. This is why we do need you, the school board, to ensure that our school district remains one of excellence, following the current recommendations of education experts and neuroscientists. We've let the edtech industry and Silicon Valley experiment with our children's minds for profit for too long. Until these products are proven safe and more effective than a human teacher, they should have no place in our children's classrooms.
30 seconds.
My ask is this: if you have not already read it, please read this book, The Digital Delusion. It is a newer book. It includes all the history and studies and data that you need to make truly educated decisions on the subject. Going back to proven ways of learning, removing all one-to-one device use, and instead utilizing computer labs or shared laptop carts would be amazing. But at a minimum for the next school year, we should be stopping one-to-one device usage outside of mandatory testing for our youngest students, setting enforceable screen time limits for other grade levels, and finally allow parents the right to opt out of one device use altogether. Thank you very much.
James Grahavic.
Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry, you can't respond, but appreciate the time. I'll be brief, and I'll keep it simple. So we've all heard the adage, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So as we think about branding, from the Nike swoosh to the iconic Sears Tower, yes, I know it's called something different. I don't know what it is exactly. To the Mona Lisa, right? The evoke emotions, feelings, where you were. So my wife talked eloquently about a few data points. I'm much more simple. So I have pictures. So there's a lot of words, or it's maybe small font. 4th grade, math, science, 8th grade, math, science. On the left, no screen time. On the right, daily use. We can all see, right, downward trend. So this is what scares me and frightens me about children's learning. We've done it effectively. Teachers have been fantastic at what they do. This shows a different trend than what we're used to. Second, this is all countries, in-school CPUs around the world. This is, what we got, 2012 to 2018. Same story. The trend goes down. Left is no screen time. The right is daily use. So simple imagery. This is what captivates me. This is what keeps me up at night. When I think about my daughter, there's a lot of information. I certainly burst myself in it. This is what is burned in my brain, though. So thank you so much. Appreciate the time.
Next, Jill Nicoli.
Good evening. My name is Jill Nicoli. I have 3 D205 children, an 8th grader at Bryan, a 5th grader at Lincoln, and a kindergartner at Lincoln who graduated Madison this past spring. Since being active in district, I have seen and heard how technology is not providing our children its intended benefits. Last year at Madison, with the exception of a single snow day, our child did not touch his school-issued iPad. We hid it the moment we pulled it out of his backpack. Later, I learned many other families had done the same. One mother hid it so well, she could not find it when it was time to return it. At Lincoln and Bryan, D205 students have access to GimKit on their devices. Have you played it? I have. I had to understand why my children and my friends' children would fervently ask to play GimKit outside of school hours. What I found was a highly addictive, dopamine-fueled app masquerading as a tool for learning. I was particularly saddened to learn of one D205 third grader who, as an advanced reader, discovered without supervision books on her iPad that may have matched her reading level, but also contained content inappropriate for her age. The books she found described murders in people's bedrooms. With a new fear of the dark, this 9-year-old girl is experiencing nightmares and now refuses to sleep nights alone. This girl's father had died at a young age, making this seemingly benign event distressing for her entire family. A school librarian, a human, would not have made this mistake. Overused technology is regularly failing our students. A student at York told me she watches her classmates pull their phones from their backpacks during testing to cheat and feels discouraged when they ultimately receive higher scores than her. A mother of a York student, who is a professor herself, attempts to personally locate and purchase physical textbooks for her daughter because she knows it is a superior way to learn when compared to looking at the same textbook on a screen. I've heard some York teachers now use handwritten paper to prevent AI from authoring student work. D205 elementary and middle school students should rely less on typing, or worse, talk to text, and more on paper and pencil to build the endurance and complex motor skills necessary for high school and adult life.
30 seconds.
We have a problem in our district, but I know we have the right people in our schools and in our administration to fix it. If district-wide changes do not appeal to the board's long-term vision, please, at the very least, offer tech-intentional parents like myself the ability to opt their children out of devices and allow them to use analog alternatives wherever possible. We do not want our children to be test subjects for ed tech any longer. Thank you.
Laurel Shamenti.
Good evening. I'm also a part of the Schools Beyond Screens group here in Elmhurst, and I have actually worked in ed tech for well over a decade. I'm here to voice my support for the district moving to a more balanced, intentional use of technology in our schools. You've heard from other parents tonight about why limiting tech use is so important, and we'll continue to share our stories with you as well as our school principals. But what I want to talk about tonight is how we can create limits and how we make intentional choices about using technology in meaningful ways. To start, as parents, we would like to see a list of all the educational technology vendors that D205 currently has contracts with. And for each of those vendors, we'd like to be able to see the following. I'll list the questions, and I'm happy to email them to you afterwards. These are actually really common questions that I get from school districts when sharing the products that my company sells. Question 1, for what purpose is the platform being used in the classroom, and what evidence that using the platform is superior to non-technology dependent alternatives? Question 2, what data privacy policies are in place for each platform? What student data is being collected? Why is it necessary to be collected? Who is it being shared with, and how is security being ensured? And how is that data deleted when our contract ends? 3, how is AI used in the platform? If it is used, is our students' data being used to train the models? How are inappropriate content and hallucinations being flagged and dealt with? And how does the platform prevent algorithmic bias from impacting our students? And question 4, what ESSA tier of evidence supports the use of that technology platform with our students? And if a platform that we as a district, as taxpayers have purchased, doesn't have an ESSA rating, what is the district's rationale for its efficacy? Thank you so much for the time tonight. We'll be back at future meetings because this is something that we care so deeply about. I provided my email address when I signed in, so I look forward to hearing back from you with that list of educational technology vendors that our district works with. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who took the time to voice their concerns, support, or perspectives to the Board of Education. Common practice of the board is to follow up with public commenters after the board meeting as needed. Thank you. Okay, next up on the agenda is approval of board meeting minutes. So first up is approval of regular board minutes from May 19th, 2026. Are there any changes to the meeting minutes? Okay, seeing no changes, meeting minutes stand as presented. Next is the approval of closed session minutes from May 19th, 2026. Any changes? Okay, seeing no, those minutes stand as presented. Okay, our report and presentations is the SACID overview.
Thank you. Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205 is a member of the School Association for Special Education in DuPage County, known as SACID. It's a special education cooperative that provides highly specialized programs and services for students with disabilities whose needs might not be able to be appropriately met within their home school district. We have been very pleased to partner with SACID and be able to access specialized services and placements, consultation, professional learning opportunities that supports the district's continuum of special education services. For tonight, I've asked Dr. Rubenstein, our Assistant Superintendent, to share, for Student Services, to share and provide the Board of Education with an overview of our partnership with SACID, the role that this cooperative plays in supporting our students. This presentation also highlights the comprehensive and extensive continuum of programs, services, staffing supports, as well as consultation that is provided through SACID. At this time, I will turn it over to Dr. Rubenstein.
Great, thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, because it is not a commonly known fact, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is meant to cover all students with disabilities in every school district across the country. So whether you have a high incidence disability like a learning disability, or whether you have a low incidence disability, sometimes like autism or deafness or blindness, school districts are required to service all students as a part of their full continuum of services. And so what many school districts across the country do is that they partner with special education cooperatives. And special education cooperatives were brought about to provide services for students with disabilities in a really cost-effective and efficient manner to make sure that every student could be educated within their schools. So as Dr. Campbell talked about, SACID stands for the School Association for Special Education in DuPage County. It's been around for over 30 years, and it's a special education cooperative that provides really highly specialized programs and services for students whose needs cannot appropriately be met within their home school district. It provides us with access to specialized expertise. So they have board-certified behavior analysts, as an example. They have highly trained audiologists and other staff members who are on their team that we wouldn't regularly employ within our school district. They also provide several highly specialized educational placements for us. So for students who need a different level of programming, SACID provides that to some of our students. They also, a big portion of what they do for us in District 205 is that they support with the provision of related services. So all of our occupational therapists and physical therapists within the district are actually employees of SACID as their employing organization. They also, SACID provides us with professional learning and consultation on a variety of different needs. So when a student is in crisis, we can call SACID. They partner with us to make sure that the student gets the support that they need, and also that our classroom teachers then are able to return to the classroom, the next day with new tools and the support that they need in order to support their students. So in terms of student programming, SACID really supports a small number of District 205 students whose needs require really highly specialized programming. So there are some therapeutic day school placements. They provide on-site behavioral supports for students, services for students who are deaf or hard of hearing. And then the piece here that I want to really drive home is that we have partnered with SACID, but it's really a small number of students that we have actually placed within the SACID cooperative. So during the course of the last 5 years, our average has been around 6 students overall. So somewhere between a low of 5 to, I think at one time we had a high of 8 placed within the SACID programming there. They also provide us, as I talked about before, with occupational and physical therapists. There is a position called orientation and mobility specialists, so to support students who are blind or visually impaired or who need that level of additional support. They provide specialized hearing assessments, behavioral consultation, some of our program support, and specialized staff training. We pay the cooperative about $2.9 million over the past year, and about 65% of that goes to the things that you see on the right-hand side of the screen. And so those are things that we would not be able to provide within the school district that they are supporting us with. So our students benefit from the access to the highly specialized programming and individualized supports, and the outcomes for students who are placed within SACID and within their programs are vastly improved over other placements, and make sure that we as a school district are able to provide a full continuum of services as required under IDEA. For the school district, it provides us with some access to programs that we would be hard-pressed to operate independently. So where you maybe have 2 or 3 students in a district the size of ours who require that level of programming, they have a full classroom or several classrooms of students just like that from the surrounding area that come together and also provide a community of learners for those students. So access to high-quality professional staff in some of those difficult to staff positions, finding an occupational therapist or a physical therapist is really very difficult, and also provides us a network of providers in similar school districts. So we regularly rely upon the other directors within that network, the other staff members within that network to make sure that we are able to provide high quality services to our students with disabilities all across the district. So we are just bringing you a couple of updates. A number of years ago, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the SACID governance structure changed. And so the superintendent is now a member of the board of directors. And that board of directors meets monthly, so it's usually the Wednesday after our board meeting. And so Dr. Campbell attends that meeting on our behalf. And then one school board member is a member of the governing board, which meets 3 times per year, and that is Beth Hostler. And so we thank them for their service, because that is an added board service and service to the school district. Something else that we wanted to just bring to your attention, that SACID Board of Directors has been considering for close to a year now, considering taking on additional debt in order to purchase property to streamline their programming. And so right now they operate in a number of satellite programs all throughout DuPage County. Some of them are pretty far from us, like in Winfield, School District 34. So what they are considering doing right now is, as a board of directors, is to take on some additional debt to purchase real property and have their programs centralized in one place. That will be passed along to us in payments to our tuition bills. So because of the low number of students that we educate within the SACID programs, the average of 6 over the last couple of years, that average will be used to determine our financial share of those additional costs there. There are also some things, something that you are going to be voting on later this evening. There were some recent updates to the school code which require changes to articles of agreement. And it specifically has to do with how a school district gives notice to get out of the special education cooperative. There was another special education cooperative to the north of us that had a number of issues, and as a result of that, there are some changes to the school code. And so those changes to the school code and the related pieces under that require some updates to the articles of agreement, and they must be approved by each member district in order to move forward. So the SACID Board of Directors has approved the initial piece. Now it is out at all of the school boards to be voted on over the course of the next month, and then we will send that back with our message from us. So that is all that I have on SACID. We just wanted to provide you with a very brief update since we had not talked about it in a little bit of time, and they're making a number of moves, and also those updates to the articles of agreement. So I'd be happy to take any questions.
Questions, comments from the board? Beth? Thank you, Kevin, for going over all that. I know not a lot of us know about what a special education co-op is, so appreciate that. I've been involved with SACID since 2019, so I've heard a lot over that time about the challenges of providing individualized support that looks so different for every student to such a large number of students over a large area, and there's a lot of challenges that come with that. And so over the past few years, a lot of really dedicated people, including superintendents from the member districts and leadership that's been put in place at SACID, have come together to try to address some of these challenges, and they've done a ton of work to do that. Putting a strategic plan in place, assessing all of the needs. It's been a long process of really assessing how to best address supporting all of these students. So I just want to say thank you for all of that work, and I think they've done a really good job of finding a way to centralize the location so that there's not as many students having to go to different locations. It stops staff from having to drive to all different locations. I believe they said they're going from, right now there's 20 different buildings and only 3 of them are SACID owned. So an additional 3 are SACID buildings. So
that's a lot of rent being paid. And so those funds also would be funneled into the cost of this building they would be acquiring, which I just think it's a great solution for students and for staff and for districts that are involved. So I just wanted to, being kind of front and center and seeing the process, I know it's been a ton of work and a lot of collaboration, so thank you for all your work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hassler, because those meetings are in the evening and they're late, and being able to be caught up in working with me and meeting with me to kind of understand where we are in that process. In addition to serving on the board, I'm also a part of their policy committee, and so really looking at and making sure that our policies, as we've done this work here in D205, really align with our practices and that we're meeting the needs of students that have, some, very diverse and very specific needs. And so it is and has been a part. I think District 205, we have continued to benefit greatly. We are, in terms of being a unit district, one of their largest sitting districts that's a member of this SACID cooperative, but I think the benefits have greatly been weighed heavily in the thoughtfulness, and so I appreciate your support. I appreciate Dr. Rubenstein's, our directors within the student services. Also, directors come together and meet and collaborate, and just the change in the of practice and ideas has also boded well and has been a great benefit to our district and our students. So. Thank you.
Other questions, comments? Go ahead.
So I'm just going to, Beth, thank you so much. 7 years. I mean, you have been our rep on SACID, and it's just not just the work, but the passion you've put into volunteering for this, extracurricular part of the job. I really, truly appreciate. I've been a backup over the years, and going to those meetings, it is a group of amazing, passionate people that are just working toward this one common goal. And it makes it, when you're sitting in that room, it really makes you feel like, yeah, we can do this. And so thank you so much for 7 years of doing that. I really, truly appreciate it. And I appreciate the presentation, because I don't think the community understands how much goes into this cooperative and how grateful we should be, because even, everyone at this table is passionate about giving all of our students the services that they need. We're also mandated by law to do that. And I know I'm going to ask one of those rhetorical questions where I already know the answer. Could we possibly provide our 6 to 8 students per year the services that they get through SACID if we were not part of this cooperative? I mean,
it would be extraordinarily difficult to give the same student experience. There is a significant amount of research to support the idea, just as an example, that students who are deaf or hard of hearing should be educated together with deaf and hard of hearing peers. And we wouldn't be able to provide that classroom experience at scale the way that they do.
Yeah, and I certainly didn't know before I was on this board and learned about SACID how much we rely on that amazing cooperative of resources. So I am super grateful that we're part of this cooperative. I love the idea of centralizing all the services for all the therapists and teachers and counselors and all the resources that we get in one location, because I think that we later have to talk about if we're going to commit to this cooperative, and I can't imagine not being a part of it. It doesn't matter to me if it was 1 student or 50 students. I mean, it just is the right thing to do for anybody in our district. So thank you guys both. Appreciate it.
The centralized location is going to really produce significant. I know this board is very sensitive and oftentimes elevates the student experience. And right now, in terms of where satellite classrooms, there will be still a few satellite classrooms, very few satellite classrooms, but majority of the program, we're looking to centralize and bring in one space. And We are really excited. I will keep the board apprised as we move through this process. Right now, we are in very strong negotiations with one particular location that is extremely promising, and we are very excited about the location of that location. I'll just leave that teaser out right there. But I will definitely, as we move through that process, Dr. Rubenstein and I will keep you up to date on how things are moving with securing that.
Amazing, thank you. Any other questions, comments on the board? All right, moving on to the next up is consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to pull from consent agenda? Okay, if not, can I have a motion for consent agenda, please?
I move that the Board of Education approve the following consent agenda items. A, personnel reports, B, financial reports, C, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, D, 2026-2027 school year exchange student, York High School, E, athletic trainer contract, F, consolidated district plan, G, disposal of equipment, H, first read, Section 2, Board of Education Policy Review 200, 2220, 2250, 2260, 2265. I, first read Section 4, Operational Services Policy Review 440, 4165. J, first read Section 5, Personnel Policy Review 530, 550, 5250, 5330. K, first read Section 6, Instruction Policy Review, 650, 665, 6100, 6145, 6170. L, first read Section 7, Students Policy Review, 720, 750, 7100, 7185, 7220, 7230, 7240, 7260, 7280, 7300. M, first read Section 8, Community Relations Policy Review 890, and that's it. It's like at the end of the page.
I'll second. Motion made by Mrs. Assif, seconded by Mrs. Hostler. Can we call a vote?
Mrs. Assif?
Yes.
Mrs. Hostler?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. Okay, now on to agenda action items. First item on the agenda is amendments to SACID's joint articles of agreement.
So as we just discussed under the prior agenda item, we are bringing to you this evening some proposed revisions to the SACID Articles of Agreement and asking for your approval this evening. So the proposed revisions really make several changes to the Articles of Joint Agreement. The first one is in the area of updates to the school code. There were a number of primarily administrative changes that were made to that. The second is the bigger one, and that is procedures for withdrawal. So there are several notification requirements, but this sets into motion an 18-month withdrawal procedure, which is now required by school code. That is really a big thing, and then also spells out more specifically the financial implications that carries along with it. There, as I alluded to in my last board presentation, there have been a number of cooperatives that have struggled through this over the last couple of years, and so they are making changes to our Articles of Agreement to make sure that that is safe and sound. And then, as Dr. Campbell talked about, we are spelling out in the Articles of Agreement the procedures for acquisition and future ownership of property. So those areas had not been updated since the last districts came on board in the late 90s and early 2000s, and spelled out that we would not have access to certain bits of property and have access to other pieces of property. And so this clears everything up moving forward about what we would pay if they acquired future property, and if we were to eventually leave the cooperative, how much we would be required to pay out over a period of time. And so our recommendation is that the Board of Education should approve the resolution to ratify the proposed amendments to the Articles of Joint Agreement for CESID.
Thank you, Dr. Rubenstein. Can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the resolution to ratify the proposed amendments to the Articles of Joint Agreement for the School Association for Special Education in DuPage County as presented.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Mrs. Hostler, seconded by Ms. Slawinski. Any comments from the board? Okay, seeing none, can we call a vote?
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Assif?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is transfer of interest from debt service fund to education fund. Mr. Blomquist.
Thank you. State statute allows school boards to elect to transfer interest earned in the debt service fund to a fund of greatest need, as long as debt service payments can be funded through other revenues within the fund. I can safely say that the revenues we receive through our property tax levy for debt service is more than enough to cover the expenses of our debt service, and it is our recommendation to transfer $200,000 of interest earnings from the debt service fund to the fund of most need, which we've identified as the education fund.
Great, thank you. Can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the transfer of $200,000 of fiscal year 2025-2026 interest earning from the debt service fund to the education fund.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Troutman, second by Mrs. Assif. Comments from the board? Okay. Seeing none, can we call a vote?
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Assif?
Yes.
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. Okay, next item on the agenda is the 2026-27 school year student handbook. Are you up?
I am.
Okay.
I am, yes. We are happy to present to you for approval the 2026-2027 handbook that is printed in grades 6 through 12 for all students and provided online with access for all families across the district. We brought this to the Parent-Teacher Advisory Committee at our meeting in late April, and the board reviewed it then. Several changes have been made for the 26-27 school year. So all letters, student fees, calendars, IHSA policies, and district contacts have or will be updated. There have been several sections which are updated to align with new or current board policies. So curriculum content, some of the bullying prevention and response, uniform grievance procedures, all of those are updated in there. There have been updates made to reflect updated practices related to grading at York High School. And then there's just some stylistic changes and content updates have been made to other areas like student assessments and fees and discipline and behavioral expectations. So I would be happy to take any questions.
First off, can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the updated 2026-2027 Parent-Student Handbook as presented.
Second.
Second?
Okay, I'm taking Brian on that one. Okay. Motion made by Ms. Solowinski, second by Mr. Bresnahan. Any comments from the board? Go ahead,
One,
Connie.
you know, I think this is the Bible for all students and parents, every elementary, middle school in York. And I'd encourage any parents that have any questions about it to go back and review that committee meeting where there was a robust, I wasn't even there, but I did go back and watch it. There's a robust discussion about the handbook. And I appreciate the effort that goes into this every year to align what's happening in our buildings to what's happening in our, that it's reflected in the handbook. So I continue to thank the committee that spends the time working on it and the people at the district that do it as well. I appreciate it.
I just want to add too that it's a really great resource, like for the community members and parents out there. I've had to look at it just as a parent for like, oh, what was that like procedure with attendance or, or grades or whatever. Or I've had friends be like, what's the homework policy, whatever. So it's a good, I actually was just talking to someone today who didn't really know how to access it, and I just kind of showed them. I mean, it's right on the website, just a good resource if there's questions. It's just an easy way to kind of access quick answers. So it's a good resource. So thank you.
Other comments? Can we call a vote?
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Assib?
Yes.
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is district-wide security services.
Good evening. I shared a little bit at the May board meeting about a recent RFP that the Safety and Security Committee conducted. It was a RFP that provided us an opportunity to do a review and compare and an analysis of security services for the district. Following the thorough review of proposals, product demonstrations, implementation plans, and service capabilities, our evaluation team is recommending and requesting approval for District 205 to enter into a contract with Crisis Go, beginning with the 26-27 school year and continuing for a total of 3 years. The implementation of Crisis Go would expand many areas of our current services for safety and security, including internal emergency communication and notification abilities for staff and first responders, as well as provide a significant increase in the functionality while maintaining all core emergency notification capabilities that are currently being utilized throughout the district. In addition, we would be preserving existing services, and Crisis Go offers a comprehensive suite of tools that enhance prevention, response, communication, accountability, medical emergency management, reunification, and post-incident recovery services. The evaluation team believes that these expanded capabilities represent a meaningful investment in the safety and security of students and staff and facilities, and request for your approval.
Thank you, Mrs. Daniels. Can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the contract with Crisis Go for security services beginning the 26-27 school year for a total of 3 years as presented.
We'll get there.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, Kelly. Okay. Motion made by Ms. Troutman, seconded by Ms. Assif. Now, are there any questions, comments from the board?
Quick question. Is this replacing another app that we have used? Okay.
So
is it-
it's not replacing an app. We
another
currently have a service called Bluepoint, which it ensures that we're in compliance with a federal law called ELISA's law that requires that everybody has emergency buttons to notify first responders in the event of an emergency. It would replace that and dramatically expand it.
Thank you. I said app because I actually have that app from my job, but yeah, so that's good. Just wanted to understand if it was something brand new or a new system we were using, so thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
gonna,
go ahead.
and I know I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff, but I can't begin to express about what an upgrade in security and safety processes this will bring to us. In the event of an emergency, the reunification process is like the most chaotic possible thing ever, and this will so greatly enhance our ability to get parents back in touch with their students or their children in the event that happens. But, I mean, that's just one facet of it. It's just such a great platform. So I can't tell you how excited I am that we're bringing this to the district and how much, there's just so many benefits to it. So I thank you for all the work you put into it, and I look forward to seeing a presentation in the future about how it's helping everybody.
Yes. All right, can we call a vote?
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Assib?
Yes.
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is the 2026-2030 District 205 SEIU Local 73 Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Yes, good evening. Our current agreement between the Board of Education and our custodial maintenance union, SEIU Local 73, is set to expire on June 30th. For the past few months, we've been negotiating a new 4-year agreement with the union and came to a tentative agreement on June 9th. The union membership ratified the agreement just last week. The agreement aims to attract and retain high-quality, purpose-driven employees while remaining fiscally responsible. We also want to take the time to express our gratitude and appreciation for the work of our custodial maintenance teams. Our students and staff depend on them daily, and simply put, our schools would not operate without them. I want to note Chief Steward Darren Bliss is here in attendance tonight, and we appreciate his collaboration during this process. And with that, we recommend the board approve the collective bargaining agreement that would become effective July 1, 2026 and expire June 30th, 2030.
Thank you, Dr. Schumacher. Can we have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the 2026-2030 District 205 SEIU Collective Bargaining Agreement as presented.
I'll second. Motion made by Mr. Bresnahan, second by Ms. Hostler. Any comments from the board? Okay, seeing as, oh, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, thank you for everyone involved in this process, this very collaborative process, and just working together to come up with an agreement that works well for everyone involved. I know it's a lot of time spent doing that, so appreciate everyone's efforts.
Sounds good. Thank you. Can we call a vote?
Mr. Bresnahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hostler?
Yes.
Mrs. Slawinski?
Yes.
Mrs. Asif?
Yes.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanites? Dr. Henry?
Yes. 6 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. Motion passes. Okay, moving on to superintendent communication.
Thank you. This has been a very efficient meeting. Dr. Henry, just saying. Yes, so there are several communications. I want to first just echo, as my colleague Dr. Schumacher has stated, our sincere appreciation to our SEIU unit. And one of the things that I want to just highlight is the intentional collaboration and the very, very necessary but important discourse where I think both sides listened and heard, and I'm really excited about the forward momentum and the leadership from our administration as well as from the union. So once again, just want to say thank you. A couple of updates that I want to share with our Board of Education and our community. First being one that we had a data showcase and what we entitled a School Improvement Planning Collaborative. This was a plan and led by our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Lyons, Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Leischel, as well as Assistant Superintendent Rubenstein. And this was such a phenomenal moment in time to bring together school teams to review and to celebrate preliminary summative data while also identifying some of those key goals and priorities for the upcoming school year. On the screen right now in the hallway, school teams as they met, as they celebrated, there was an opportunity to come and take a picture. And this time, we not only brought together administrators, but there were representation of our teachers. Our teachers were in the room, instructional coaches, and really thoughtful, dedicated, passionate educators that are really coming together to be thoughtful about how we continue to elevate the student experience in a positive way, as well as have the outcomes that we've set out to meet. New this year was every school also established a school improvement planning team, which is what I just mentioned. That included not only those administrators and instructional coaches, but department and division chairs and teachers, ensuring just broader stakeholder engagement, involvement in the planning, and absolutely just the ownership. I was so excited when my team shared with me and went over the agenda in the day. I actually called a couple of my colleagues, superintendent friends, and was bragging about this moment that we were creating. And I said, listen, this is something you all need to come and see and learn from. I didn't have anyone take me up on that, but that's okay. And during this time, schools shared their initial data analysis, their improvement priorities, their planning strategies with colleagues, fostering authentic partnership and cross-school learning. School teams will now continue that work and have continued that work within their leadership teams to refine, to finalize their professional learning plans and establish support structures to advance their identified goals for this coming year. Our team also was very thoughtful in having moments to put our schools together within their cluster tracks. And so having elementary feeders into their middle schools and just talking again and sharing the work and looking at that consistency was absolutely phenomenal. And so I just want to again to elevate how fortunate we are in D205. This was after the school year, but the level of engagement, the energy, the excitement, the passion, the thoughtfulness, elevating the celebrations, but there was also this continual energy around what and how we can do things better and how we can support even more students. And that is just something that I think speaks to the culture and the climate that has been built here with our school team. So kudos and congratulations to all of our leaders for the work that they've done this last year, as well as coming up in preparation for next school year. As always, we will bring, when that data is made available, we will bring that to the Board of Education, as well as share in our annual state of the district with the broader community. But that was one of the first things that I wanted to just share with the board. Next, summer school is underway. So I'm going to kick it to my colleagues. Is Ms. Lyons or Dr. Rubenstein? And I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Did you grab the mic? Were you ready, Ms. Lyons? Ms. Lyons, share a little summer school.
Yes, it is hard to believe that we're here. We're just a few short weeks away from summer academic, athletic, and art programs wrapping up, but we're not quite there. Elementary ends this Thursday, and then we have our programs at York that continue in the second semester, yes. We're thrilled that enrollment in these important and engaging programs remains strong, and our enrollment stays consistent as it has been in the past few years. This year, we've had 1,202 enrollments in our academic programs, which includes acceleration, extended school year, exploratory, and our York credit-bearing programs. We've had 301 enrollments in fine arts programs and 2,004 enrollments in our athletic programs. So feedback is being gathered, and if you have a child in one of the programs and you haven't gotten the feedback survey, it's coming. But we're excited to gather that feedback again this year from our staff, our families, and our high school students to continuously improve our program offerings and participant experiences. And we look forward to reporting on our summer full of discovery, creativity, and connection at a board meeting in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you. Also happenings this summer across our district is our summer capital projects. And so I've asked my colleague, Mr. Blomquist, just to share a brief update on our progress.
Yeah, and unlike summer school, we are not close to wrapping up, but we are progressing very well. So our summer capital projects are in full swing. some of these pictures aren't exactly the most thrilling, but at the same time, I figured you want to see some visuals because hopefully you have not been up on the roof, but you can see there, roofs at York, Bryan, and on the next slide, Churchville are well underway with work scheduled for completion by the middle of July for each of those three. Also at Churchville, the third floor has undergone an extensive ceiling and lighting replacement. So you can see all that work being done right there. There was a lot of stuff above the ceiling tile that we also removed, so we're very excited to see if there's some efficiencies. As part of the bathroom renovations at Emerson and Jefferson, new epoxy floors are being laid this week, and equipment should be in place by the end of July. Also at Emerson and Bryan, identified classrooms have gone through flooring removal, including asbestos abatement that is complete, and the new floors are expected to be put in place in mid-July. Edison has finished its installation of the expanded fencing encircling the entire playground and the adjoining grass field. Some other items that do not have pictures. The Sandberg Drainage Project is entering phase 2. That's going to entail some replacing some cracked piping under the auditorium floor. Additional testing will take place immediately following that replacement to ensure all areas of need are addressed. Projects will continue into July and even into the fall without disrupting instruction or any student activities, with the installation of boilers at Jackson and Edison in July, replacement of chillers at Bryan and Churchville, most likely extending into the winter or spring due to the long nature of obtaining the chiller units. And continued replacement of exterior doors at all schools, and installation of new cafeteria tables at Fisher and York. One other item that I will have pictures for in the future is our brand new digital scoreboard in the Campbell Gym, which we are very excited is installed. We just engaged in a training on how to use the software system so we can utilize it as soon as we need to in the fall with our fall sports, particularly girls volleyball. I think we'll be the first one to get to use that new digital scoreboard.
So moving on to our communication highlights.
So the 16th edition of our Community Connections newsletter will be hitting the printing press probably tomorrow and will be in mailboxes within a week after that. One of the stories that is featured in it is the senior walkthrough of the elementary schools that started 2 years ago. 3, this was the third year. It was such a special experience. 3 years ago it was. And we really wanted to kind of highlight it and share a little bit about it. And we wanted to talk to the students about why it was important to them and talk to some of the teachers about what it meant to them to see their students come back. And so we have a short clip of the full video that you can view on our YouTube channel, and you can also scan it in the newsletter when it arrives in your house. So here's a little teaser of it.
The senior walkthrough is a really awesome experience for the senior students to return to their grade schools and walk the halls. I think it's a nice piece of nostalgia for the seniors to return to their grade schools. They get to see the halls, they get to see their lockers, they get to see the places where they ate lunch and had recess, and all those friendly, familiar faces.
It felt so different to be here as somebody that doesn't go here and has gone through the whole D205 school system. But it's so different to see the ways that the building has changed, the people, the teachers. But it's so nostalgic to be back here walking around today, and it was so special, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do it.
I've been emotional ever since I saw them because I was able to have these kids for 2 years. in 3rd and 4th grade. And when I just made eye contact with them, I just flashed back to when they were in 3rd and 4th grade. And so many memories came to mind. Funny ones, heartwarming ones, and being able to see that they're still excelling and they're still doing so well. It just really means the world to me.
With me, okay, thank you. Okay, is there any board member communications? Okay, seeing none. Upcoming meetings, next meeting is July 28th, 2026, Board of Education meeting at 7 o'clock, District 205 Center, rooms 215, 216, and 217. This meeting is now adjourned at 8:36. Thank you.